Hi, Brandon Walker, more Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast here on SEC Country. We are back in the SEC Country studios. Took a couple of days away from the studio last week, Wednesday and Thursday. I hope you guys over there enjoyed your day off, but you're back on now. Starting a little early, I got a lot to talk about today. Mississippi State sweeps Florida in baseball. Unbelievable. Nobody saw that coming. Absolutely nobody saw that coming. I didn't see it coming. Maybe you did. I don't know. But I went to Road Dogs Tour Thursday night here in Sandy Springs, Georgia, about 2 miles away from where we sit right now in Dunwoody. And it was something. If you haven't heard Joe Moorhead speak about this team, it will get you fired up. It will get you going about the future of this program. It will excite you about where this team is headed and the coaching staff that we have. Jeff and Crystal Gordon from Shaw, Mississippi, Hail State. Troy Harper, Hail State from Meridian. I met a lot of people there. I'll name them once everybody gets in here. I'll name who I met, and we'll shout out some people. But certainly on the show today, we're going to talk about what Joe Moorhead talked about the other night. I'll give you my observations of his speech. I'll share some audio that I got. I got a couple of minutes with Coach before he went on, and we talked about Mississippi State football, because that's what you talk about with the coach, Mississippi State football, right? We talked about that. He is excited about some players. He is definitely excited about the future. I have a lot of observations over what I saw on Joe Moorhead the other night. It was a fun night. We'll also talk about Mississippi State baseball, incredible weekend, and hey, can you give them a taste of what the third segment is? Just give them a little taste. Just a taste. How does that feel?
Good.
Feels good, right? That's coming up, third segment. And we'll have the 2-minute drill to end the show. Boy, this one today, this bedtime story. You can't make this stuff up. Hail State from Hamilton, Mississippi, Shelley Walker. Scott Strickland caught it pretty good this weekend, says Joseph Pollard. Lynn Rhodes Gilmer says good morning from Sullivan, Alabama. Billy Stevens, Hail State from Texas. My comments are a little messed up, Turp. My comments are like scrolling up instead of down. There's Sharika McCarter, Hail State from Crawford. I met Sharika the other night, Sharika McCarter from Crawford, Mississippi. She's over here in Atlanta. She was at the Road Dogs. We had a good time. She said I never call her out on the show. Well, Sharika, I just did. It was absolutely fun to meet you the other night. Hail State from Batesville, Dominique D. Mill Middleton. Thank you, Dominique, for being here. My comments are going up now, Terp, instead of down. How did that happen? Do you know?
I don't know. I don't work at Facebook.
You barely work here.
I know.
I don't want them to go up. I want them to go down.
They're going down on my phone.
How about that sweep? Karen Morgan DeWeese. Certainly we'll talk about that. What an incredibly weird baseball season as this team just continues to defy expectations when they play a top 10 team. Hail State from Stringer. That's Aaron Suggs. See, it's going. Oh, Facebook. It's an update, apparently. Comments go up now? It's an update from Facebook?
Update. They go up.
Oh, my God, Terp. Just stop. Hail State from South Dakota, Pete Torres. Hail State from South Haven, Joseph Gaines. Checking in from Coleman, Alabama, is Stephen C. Wright, Hail State. Hail State from Collins, but somebody's in Tahoe right now, Jan Kelly. Lucky you, Jan. That sounds delightful.
Landshark's comments are acting normal.
They're acting normal. Mine aren't.
What browser are you in?
The same browser I'm in every single day?
Can't help you.
I didn't figure you could. Hail State from Cheyenne, Wyoming, Donnie Caffey. Hail State from Louisville, Kentucky, Russ Crawford. What have I done? Oh, I think I just flipped it.
Did you fix it?
I fixed it, yeah.
Nice.
Apparently, if you click on the comments, you can flip it. Ooh. All right, good stuff. Hail State from Interstate, I don't know. You guys are all here. Good stuff. Thanks for being here. 145 people are here. We're going to talk about Joe Moorhead today on the show. We're going to talk about the Road Dogs tour that I went to the other night. I met a bunch of people. Sharika, who I've already mentioned. I met so many people. Mr. Shulman, I believe, from Columbus. I met Danielle Whalen Gode, who I've been calling Gald for years. Danielle Whalen Gode. So I met her, and we all had a good time. I'm going to be giving away a signed Joe Moorhead poster that I got from the event. I don't know how I'll give it away, but I'll give it away this week. I'll send it to you. I just want to thank everybody for watching the show, and that's kind of a little gift I'll have for you. Only one person gets it, unless you guys want to cut it up into many pieces, and I can send it out to all of you.
Can I win this?
No, you cannot.
No.
No.
Not fair.
I got an extra one for us.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Not for you, for us. Just for the whole
Oh, nice.
the whole floor. Sean Barker says, bedtime story. Yep, that's coming up. That is coming up. Hail State from Cleveland, Mississippi, Cody Woods. Dalton Yateman says he's planning on being able to drink less this year. Feeling good about that? Are you referring to the season? You don't think it'll be as stressful, so you'll drink less? Because often when the season's going good, I probably drink a little more. I drink a little more when things are going good. Good morning, good afternoon, and good night, said somebody. Hail State from Flowood, Frankie L. Thompson. Holding the couch down in Roswell, New Mexico, Robbie Stevens. All right. So, again, Moorhead, the Road Dogs Tour. We'll talk about the baseball team, bedtime story, 2-minute drill, and then we'll get out of here. Before we get to my show, let me tell you this beautiful shirt I'm wearing right here with the maroon Mississippi logo. This came from Maroon & Company, Highway 12 in Starkville behind Chick-fil-A. Father's Day is coming up. I am a father. I know that because there were a bunch of small people in my house this morning, and they all called me Daddy, and I was very excited about that. Now, Father's Day is coming up. Maroon & Company has your Father's Day gifts. We got something like this for me there, and I love this shirt. It fits very well. I am very comfortable right now. Incredible Mississippi State gear. Check out Maroon & Company on Twitter at Maroon & Co. or maroonandco.com. You'll get lost on that website. Now, who is ready to do this? Terp, are you ready to do this?
Indeed.
Let's do this.
It's the More Cowbell Show, brought to you by SEC Country. And now, your host of the More Cowbell Show, Brandon Walker.
More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. We are here on in the SEC Country studios. I'm back after a couple of days out of the studio. We did the show from my house on Thursday. We didn't do the show at all on Wednesday. Had some sickness in my house this weekend, or, last week. We're over it now. Everybody's good. Everybody's healthy. Everybody is ready to go into another week. And I got to tell you what, I am fired up. I went to the Road Dogs Tour. I went to the Road Dogs Tour on Thursday. It came through Atlanta. I think it was a 10-city, 5-day tour where they did I not ring the bell? That is my fault. Let's proceed. More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast. We are now rung in here on a Monday. I went to the Road Dogs Tour Thursday night. I watched Joe Moorhead talk. I commiserated with, a couple of hundred Mississippi State fans. It was standing room only here in Atlanta. Some of the best Atlanta Bulldogs were out there, including me. I am the best Atlanta Bulldog. And we were having a good time, and we listened to our new head coach, and 200 people came out of that room ready to fight somebody. 200 people came out of that room ready to run on 3rd and 2. We came out ready to play football for that man. That got me more fired up than I can remember in the last several years. We'll talk about that, what happened at the Road Dogs Tour the other night. Baseball, the impossible dream continues. Every time a top 10 team comes into Duty Noble Field, they leave with their tail between their legs. This time Florida left by being swept. Number 1, Florida gets swept, and it wasn't even that close. Mississippi State ends the season on a tear, goes into the SEC Country, not the SEC Country tournament. It's not our tournament, right? It's just the SEC tournament. It'd be cool if it was our tournament. Then we'd really be making a lot of money. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. Mississippi State going into the SEC tournament. A lot of momentum. They play LSU tomorrow. We'll talk about baseball. Bedtime story coming up. Sweet dreams, and we have got a doozy for you today. We have got one for you that's going to make you roll your eyes so far back in your head, you're going to have to turn around to pick them up. That is how ridiculous this bedtime story is. Terp, did you just try it? That was awful. I don't ever want to see that again. You look like the Undertaker over there waking up. All right, now, 2-minute drill at the end of the show. Let's go ahead and get started, though. Let's get started. Joe Moorhead, the new head coach of Mississippi State, I'm going to tell you this right now. Public service announcement. If you have not gone out and heard this guy speak, and I don't know between now and the season when he's going to have the opportunity to speak again. I imagine he will have some speaking engagements this summer. They like to keep the fan base engaged. If Joe Moorhead and the Road Dogs or anybody comes to your town, go see this guy talk. Go shake his hand. He will make you feel like you were the most important person in the room. There were 200 people there Thursday night. Joe Moorhead talked on an individual basis with all 200. Joe Moorhead got up. He spoke about the future of this program for about 30 to 45 minutes. And like I said earlier, by the time it was over, I was ready to fight somebody for Joe Moorhead. That is how, and this is not just homer crap, all right? I loved Dan Mullen for 9 years. I did, and I still like Dan Mullen. It's a good coach. But Dan Mullen never made me feel about Mississippi State football the way Joe Moorhead made me feel the other night. I can't explain that. I can't explain it. You can tell this guy is happy to be here. This guy is planning to win big here. Now, whether he does or he doesn't, whatever, he is planning to win big here. He believes he can win big here, and he will make you believe he can win big here. And that is incredible. I'm going to get to my observations about that very soon. I talked with Joe Moorhead before the event for like 2 or 3 minutes, and we just discussed a couple things before he went on and spoke to everybody else. So we'll play what I talked to him about. The first question I asked him was, you've been going on this tour for a couple of days now. What's it been like?
This is day 5, stop 10, and everyone's getting better. To come out and spread the good word of Mississippi State football and see the fans who are so passionate, enthusiastic about our team and our program and our school. It's just been a tremendous all-around experience.
You say spread the good word of Mississippi State football. It's your job now. I mean, it's your program. What is the good word of Mississippi State football going in 2018?
The good word is that we have a very talented roster. I think we put a coaching staff in place that is going to put our kids in position to be successful with our scheme. And, we're building a culture discipline, accountability, work ethic, attention to detail, and selflessness. And when you put those 3 things together, you got a chance to win a championship.
What's been the overall message you've heard from State fans on this tour?
Just general excitement. They keep telling me how they've never been as fired up for a season as they are for this fall for good reason. And I share the sentiment.
No doubt about that. No doubt about that. Well, you got, I guess, 3 or 4 months before you're at it in fall practice?
100 days today.
100 days today.
Till the first game.
What's next for you and your coaching staff as you get this thing ready?
The guys are still out on the road. They'll come back the last week of May. When they get back in, we'll obviously you're recruiting every day, but we'll start watching cut-ups from spring ball in all 3 phases. Get through that, and then we'll start getting into some game planning for our first 3 opponents, and then we'll do some fall camp preparation, get ahead for that, and then kind of, on the weekends we'll have our prospect camps and our 7-on-7s.
Coach, last question from me. What are you most looking forward to coming September and running out of that tunnel?
I'm most looking to the opportunity to compete in this conference on a weekly basis, and hearing the cowbells in the stadium and the atmosphere and doing that first dog walk. I've worked 20 years, and to be in a position like this, and it's just humbling, and it sometimes seems surreal, but I'm incredibly humbled and grateful for it, and I just I can't express enough how excited I am to be here.
Now, no matter how loud I was or how rude I was, those people in the background just wouldn't shut up. Would not shut up. I tried to tell them, hey, listen, I'm talking to the coach here. I'm Brandon Walker, and I got escorted out of the building. But they wouldn't shut up, but you still heard Joe Moorhead there. You still heard what he had to say. Now, that was just talking to me beforehand. We were just kicking it, just 2 cool guys making a lot of money together. We were just hanging out, all right? But after that, he went up on stage, and he talked to the 200 or so State fans, and I might be overshooting a little bit, but it was standing room only. The 100 or so State fans that were in that room, and he talked about the football team, and I've got a couple of observations on what he talked about. Number 1, Joe Moorhead knows he's got a good team. He knows Dan Mullen left him in a good place. He knows that he has got a great opportunity as a first-year head coach. He knows that he can win in his first year, and that's not always the case with first-year head coaches. Usually you're taking over a mess. He's not, and he understands that. The first thing he talks about when you ask him, hey, what about this program, what about this team, is this is an incredible roster. This is a great roster. Why are we looking at pictures of Texas A&M Landshark? What are we doing? Okay, why was there a Texas A&M quarterback in the Mississippi State melt? I know they wear maroon. Okay. He knows that he's got a good team. If you ask him, hey, what about the program? What about what you're building? He's going to say, we've got a great roster. We got great players here right now. And that is the first and foremost thing out of his mouth when talking about this team. And he's right. It is a very good roster. It has an all-SEC quarterback. It has an all-SEC defensive tackle. It has the SEC leader in sacks. It has the SEC leader in interceptions. Nobody knows it, but in that room, we all knew it. Joe Moorhead knew it. A couple of players he's really excited about. The one player that stood out to me in this 30-minute speech that he was the most excited about is going to be rising sophomore running back Kylan Hill. Now that, I don't have to tell you fans to get excited about him. This is a guy State fans have been excited about since the day he signed. They're excited about him now. We'll be excited about him in the future. We still have a very good senior running back. Just want to say that. But I could tell Joe Moorhead is ecstatic to have Kylan Hill on this football team. He himself said he just had a running back that finished second in the Heisman, that went second in the NFL draft. He just had a running back that broke all kinds of records at Penn State, and Kylan Hill reminds him of Saquon Barkley. He said that himself. We've said it before. We've wondered, hey, will he use Kylan Hill the way he used Saquon Barkley? He used him everywhere. Barkley had 54 catches. He had all these carries. He returned kicks. Moorhead used him all over the field, and I guarantee you he's going to use Kylan Hill the exact same way. This year, I'm not sure. You got Aris Williams, 1,100 yards last year, talented back, a workhorse. He is going to use Aris Williams, but he's also going to be setting up the future of Kylan Hill dominating this program. He's a very good speaker. I don't know if I have to tell you that. I was fired up then. I'm fired up now. And you know what? I'm a Homer Mississippi State fan. There's a chance that if anybody got up there and talked Mississippi State football, I was going to get fired up, but this guy really, really brought it home. He mentioned Stephen Guidry, the wide receiver out of Louisiana, who last week kind of set up a firestorm when he tweeted that he was going to sit out the semester and come back in the spring. Well, the first player Joe Moorhead mentioned the other night was Stephen Guidry. He was talking about his strength and conditioning program and how he wants it implemented and how it's made a difference for the newcomers. And the first player he mentioned was how Stephen Guidry came in at 170 pounds, and he left spring at 205 pounds, and he's going to be very valuable this fall. He would not have said that if things weren't all well in the Guidry camp. He would not have mentioned that Thursday night if the brouhaha from earlier in the week had been a lingering problem. I read that to take it as all is well with Stephen Guidry. He brought up the questions Joe Moorhead did the State fans had when he was hired. The questions that some people said on message boards and on Twitter. Why do you go get a coach from the North who's never coached in this league? He's never coached in the SEC. Can he recruit down here? Can he recruit in the South? Joe Moorhead brought both of those questions up on his own during this speech. And he said, let's talk about it. He's coached in Rose Bowls. He's coached Heisman finalists. He's coached in huge games. He has made his offense made a huge difference at Penn State. They were 15-14, I think, the year before, and they were almost in the college football playoff both the 2 years he was at Penn State. If you can coach, you can coach. That was his main point. If you can recruit, you can recruit. It doesn't matter where you are. He can coach, I believe. He can coach, and I certainly think he believes he can coach at this level, and I'm excited about it. But my main takeaway this whole time, it was buried near the end of this great speech that he was talking about. You know, he made some Ole Miss jokes. He made some jokes here. He made some jokes there. But at the very end, he talks about being aggressive offensively. And he said two things that excited me because for 9 years, again, liked Mullen, liked what he did. But for 9 years, our offense was pretty much the same. You could look at an offense in 2011 and 14 and 17 and look the same for Dan Mullen. You could predict it's 3rd and 3, quarterback's going to run left side. 3rd and 4, he's going to run off tackle. You know, it was the same offense. It worked, but it just wasn't all that thrilling. And it certainly had grown stagnant. Well, Joe Moorhead is going to be aggressive. He's going to be aggressive offensively. He's going to be unique offensively. He's going to be diversified offensively. He's going to throw it to the tight ends, which he mentioned. He's going to throw it to the receivers, which he mentioned. He's going to feature those running backs, which he mentioned. But he also said he plans to be aggressive enough that when Mississippi State wins the coin toss from now on, Mississippi State is going to receive the ball every time because he wants the offense on the field first. He wants to set the tone. Now, that might be a small thing to you, but that just excites the hell out of me. That a coach in May is thinking about the first time he wins a coin toss so he can get his offense on the field and set the tone, that gets me going. I'm sorry. I'm excited about that. I'm ready to see this offense on the field myself. He also says he plans to go for 2 often. He says 2 points is more than 1. I fact-checked that, and that is actually correct. I checked that out. It took me like hours. Friday morning, I went to the library in Cartersville, Georgia. I cracked open some books, and I was like, is 2 more than 1? And it turns out it is. It's like twice as much as 2 is. Did you know that?
No, this is news to me.
I know. You went to Maryland. So now 2 is more than 1. He plans to go for 2. Just you know what? You could bottle me up right now and sell me because I'm just ready to see Joe Moorhead coach. I'm ready to see him coach. The fan base was already on board with him. I was already on board with him. But if you hear him speak, he's going to get you more woolly than you ever thought possible. Baseball, boy, who saw this? My bell, quit. This one keeps shaking. Baseball, number 1 Florida comes into Duty Noble Field, planning their beach games, I guess. They were in good spirits, and they got the crap beat out of them for 3 games. And it is not lost on me that it is Florida that we beat with our former athletic director and our football coach and our equipment manager and our Twitter strategies and our stadium plans. Everything's been copied down there. Well, now they've copied getting beat in the last week of the season. They get swept by Mississippi State. State comes into the series needing 1 game to be in the SEC tournament, needing 1 game to feel good about the NCAA tournament, and they beat the crap out of Florida. First team to sweep number 1 since April of 2016. State's second sweep of a top 5 program this year. What's the final record against top 5 teams? 8-1. Somebody says 9-1, but I don't think that's right. Ole Miss wasn't top 5 the second time we beat them in the Governor's Cup. 8-1 against top 5 teams. That is incredible. There are number 1 teams. There are College World Series champions that have never gone 9-1 or 8-1 against the top 5. 15th win versus a ranked opponent. Second 6-run inning as many days prior to Friday. No team had done it once versus Florida. They just beat the crap out of Florida. And you know it's good. You know it's good. You know the bats are going when Jake Mangum, who's the best player on this team, steps up Saturday and does this.
Mangum at the plate, first pitch to him, ball in the air, deep in the outfield. Could he have hit a home run today? Yes, he did. Jake Mangum's first home run of the year. He drilled it over the wall in right center field, and Mississippi State ties it up with 1 swing of the bat. The 1-strike pitch, breaking ball, and he got a lot of it. He may have gotten all of it. It's into the left field seat, and it is a 3-run homer for Elijah McNamee. And that looked like a breaking ball that stayed up in the plate. Elijah McNamee with a home run.
So that's a couple of home runs in the first inning on Saturday. That's Jake Mangum hitting the first one and that other guy hitting the second one. That is that really set the tone. State just came out with the bats, and now you head in the SEC tournament. This season that we left for dead probably multiple times. We left for dead after Southern Miss beat us. What did we start? 2-7 in the SEC. So many times. State fans had a chance to just say, this season's over. I'm ready for the new coach. I don't care about this anymore, but this team never did. This team keeps fighting. This team is unbelievable. 15-15 in the SEC. That's not a bad record. It's not a bad team. And this team has climbed out of the gutter multiple times this year, and now they go into the tournament with momentum. And everybody says it's cliche, but you don't want to see this team in the tournament if you're a number 1 seed. You just don't. They're not scared of you. They weren't scared of Florida. They weren't scared of Ole Miss. Weren't scared of Arkansas. And they're not going to be scared of anybody they play in the postseason. I'm ready to see it. Last week, I would have said, hey, just end the season so I can find out who the new coach is. So we can talk about that. Now, I'm excited about both. The next couple of weeks will be as exciting as a couple of weeks as Mississippi State baseball has had, since 2013? Because not only will you see whatever this team does, and they're going to fight, they're going to scratch, they're going to claw, but even when it ends, it's still kind of a new beginning because then you find out who the new coach is. That's a weird, weird ending to a season. Bedtime story. Oh, boy. Boy, oh, boy. I don't even know what to say about this one. This is a level of delusion and grandeur and homerism that even I'm not familiar with. And I am a slobbering homer. I am a ridiculously slanted homer. But what I'm about to read to you today, well, let me just tell you. On this show, occasionally we like to We like to help you go to sleep. We like to tell you a fairy tale, a tale of fancy, something that is so made up and so ridiculous that even the most fanatical person in the world couldn't come up with this, but somebody has. Today we go to our good friends at oldhottytoddy.com, my personal favorite website on the internet. And by the way, Old Hotty Toddy, I don't know if you guys get mad at this, but I'm probably the only reason people ever read your website. So just letting you know that. Today's bedtime story is entitled Ole Miss Football, Why Jordan Ta'amu is the best quarterback in Mississippi. What's that say again? Why Jordan Ta'amu is the best QB in Mississippi. Yeah, that's what it says. That's what it says right there. That's the title of the story. There's no doubt if you are an Ole Miss football fan, and aren't we all, you are excited about the upcoming season. Who wouldn't be excited about 5-7 and the worst defense in the country, huh? After last season and seeing how Jordan Ta'amu rose to the cream in the SEC, there's no way you can't be excited. Is that what he did? Sitting as a backup for now Michigan quarterback Shea Patterson, Ta'amu would be thrown in the SEC after Patterson went down against LSU. Ta'amu performed admirably and led the Rebels to a 500 season amid all the NCAA background noise. Okay, that's fair. Now this season he has total control of one of the most potent offenses in the nation. Once they sign a running back, they will be potent. He has a returning receiver who put up 1,000 yards last season, sure, and a whole group of others he can pick and choose with. They have a great wide receiver core, no doubt. Trust me, this season somebody will always be open. As I've stated before, they are the nasty wideouts for a reason, NWO. Only Ole Miss and Ole Miss football and the 52-year-old fanboys that follow it and cover it could make the NWO not cool, all right? Only people on earth can make the NWO not cool, but they have. You've done it. Congratulations. Let's get to the meat of this. How good is Ta'amu? Oh, he's very good and has under his control the best offense in the SEC. So good they finished 8th in total offense in the SEC last year. You might try to argue this fact. Oh, I damn sure will. However, Ta'amu was very good last season and will be again in 2018. Last year, he went 115 for 173 for 1,682 yards and 11 touchdowns while only throwing 4 interceptions. I'm not hating on Jordan Ta'amu while I'm doing this. He did do good. And it took me about 3 minutes to realize he was better than Shea Patterson. While Ole Miss football fans love seeing him throw the ball, he was also very effective with his legs. He had 169 yards rushing and 4 TDs on the ground for the season. 169 yards and 4 touchdowns. Wow. You know what that's called to Nick Fitzgerald? A pretty good game. A pretty good game. And that was his season. Wow. I am very, very impressed. Of course, there are other quarterbacks in the state of Mississippi who are exceptional at their craft. However, when you play quarterback at Ole Miss, there is a reason why you are considered the best in the state, and it's not called being a Homer fan. Sorry, I tried to knock myself out. If you're listening on the podcast, that was me grabbing a bell and trying to knock myself out. So I don't have to read the rest of this. But I do. When you look at great quarterbacks affiliated with Mississippi schools, you immediately equate it with Ole Miss. I certainly do. When I think of Dak Prescott and Brett Favre and Steve McNair and Nick Fitzgerald, first thing I think about is Ole Miss. Naturally, Ta'amu is in that conversation, while other in-state quarterbacks have had their bad moments on and off the field. Look at Nick Fitzgerald last season when he couldn't control his emotions after being carted off the field in the Egg Bowl. You'll never see that from an elite quarterback. Just saying. I don't know that I've ever been madder than I am right now. There is a white-hot rage building in me that could probably throw this desk across the room. This guy's talking about controlling your emotions. You cheered for Chad Kelly, who beat up kids at a high school game. There's no doubt Ole Miss football has an entire history of great quarterbacks from Connerly and Gibbs to Manning. Being the premier university in the state of Mississippi means you have excellent talent at the quarterback position. We aren't made from some fly-by-night quarterback with a few good moves like Prescott and middle finger Fitzgerald. A grown man wrote this. A grown man. While we await the 2018 version of Ole Miss football, we know we have the very best quarterback in the state. You got me. I don't know what to say. I'm speechless. We also know he will have an outstanding year in the red and blue. Good luck to Jordan Teamu as the best quarterback in the SEC, if not the nation. This guy isn't the best quarterback in the northern half of Mississippi. He might not even be the second best quarterback in the northern half of Mississippi, depending on how much we want to show Keaton Thompson off. You know how much better Jordan Teamu is than Nick Fitzgerald? He beat Fitzgerald by 3 last year, despite Nick Fitzgerald playing 5 whole minutes. That's how much better he is. What is this crap? All right. 2-minute drill. Let's get to the 2-minute drill. My God. I tried. That's the bedtime story. This delusions of grandeur. You wonder why people make fun of that university and that fan base? It's because when you have a decent quarterback, he has to be the best. It's not, we have a pretty good quarterback. He's the best quarterback in the country. He's one of the best quarterbacks in the history of Mississippi. No, he's not. You didn't know who he was until halfway through the season last year. Number 1. In one sentence, Facebook Live, guys, and explain the Mississippi State baseball season to me. Take one sentence and explain this Mississippi State baseball season to me. You've got 30 seconds. Explain this Mississippi State baseball season to me. Terry Williams Graham says she had fun at the baseball games this weekend. I really think my comments are just broken. I think my comments are broken. I don't know that we can do the 2-minute drill.
I haven't seen any comments either on it. Amazing.
Somebody says amazing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't get that.
Up and down roller coaster.
Can you read comments for me? Can we do it that way? Give her the mic and let her read the comments and the answers.
Roller coaster. It's 3 roller coasters.
Okay, you were saying it. I want her to say it.
Okay.
All right. Landshark, you want to speed this up a little bit over there? Give me some of the sentences guys are saying.
Lots of roller coasters.
Okay.
Please don't make it
You have
stop.
to tell me who says it.
Oh. Jay Robertson says Diamond Dogs in the rough.
Diamond Dogs in the rough, okay.
Scott Carr says what's next?
Fair enough.
Bobby Chapman, exciting.
Oh, that's one word, not a sentence. Okay.
Heather Reese would love to come to a game and see the new stadium.
I think that's Heather Hollis Reese. And it is an incredible stadium. Give me
Jeremiah Body says unpredictable but thrilling.
That's a good you know what? I think that's pretty much my life, my fatherhood, my whole existence. Go ahead.
John Smith says there's no crying in baseball.
There is no crying in baseball. I have no idea what that means, but okay.
Blake D says shocking. We beat the teams we shouldn't even play with and lose to teams we should beat. Super proud of our boys though, getting hot right at the right time.
Oh, I love when boys get hot. Number two, is Jake Mangum, this is a yes or no question, is Jake Mangum an all-time great in Mississippi State baseball history? Yes or no? Is Jake Mangum an all-time great? I think the easy answer is yeah, right? I think he is. Everybody saying yes?
Yeses are flying in.
Yeses are flying in.
Stephanie Malone Ford, all caps.
Oh, yes. All caps, yes. Shout it from the rooftop, Stephanie Malone Ford.
All yes. Yeses, yes.
There's no no's at all. Good. We're all on board. This guy changed the 2016 team. You know, he came in and what he bat 420 his first year, and he's just been a warrior. And every time state baseball does something good this year, he's in the middle of it. He is going to go down as one of the fan base's favorite. Now, statistically, I don't know. I mean, you know, you got your Palmeiros and you got your Rookers and you got these guys that just came in and won Triple Crowns. But as far as being a player that was just loved by the fan base and gave everything to Mississippi State, I don't know how you get any better than Jake Mangum these last 3 years. Don't think he'll be back. That's my personal opinion. I haven't talked to the man. But Jake Mangum, an incredible Bulldog. Number 3. Now, let's get to the good stuff, Landshark. If you could eat only one vegetable for the rest of your life, you can only have one vegetable as a side, as a main dish, just whatever. You have to have every preparation of this vegetable. What do you choose? You and Terp have an answer?
Terp says a potato.
The answer is potato. What are y'all laughing at? The answer is easily potato. It's not even close. Go ahead, read some.
Corn.
Corn. Corn is always
Says
interesting.
Derek Whitford.
Derek Whitford's an awful person.
Danny Daughtry says a cucumber.
A cucumber. Okay. All right. Fair enough.
Tim Doss, green beans.
And Tim Doss is from West Point. He doesn't eat vegetables.
Toby Denton, black-eyed peas.
Oh,
That's not a
black-eyed
bad one.
peas.
That's
That's
not very versatile.
apparently it doesn't have to be versatile if you like it. Go ahead.
Ginger Tuck says mashed patios.
Potatoes is what she's talking about.
Oh, okay. Chad Mask, a bacon-wrapped vegetable.
All right, now you're cheating a little bit, Chad. Chad's cheating. Chad will do that. I call him cheating Chad. That's what I call him. What else? You're laughing hysterically. What happened?
Mushrooms, okra. Okras.
Okra. Yeah. Okra's a good one.
Jeremiah Little, turnip greens.
Turnip greens. See, I don't eat greens. That's the one Mississippi thing I don't eat. Well, greens and watermelon. I don't eat any of those. I've never had watermelon in my life, but I don't eat any of that stuff. I've never eaten greens in my life.
Martha says fried chicken.
Who did?
Martha Finch, dog.
Fair enough, Martha. Number 4. What is the best old school video game? And you can take old school to mean whatever you would like it to mean. What's the best old school video game? You can go all the way back to the arcades. You can talk about the Nintendo Entertainment System. Whatever you would like. The best old school video game. What you got?
Mine's definitely Kirby.
Kirby on the Nintendo Entertainment System. What about Terp? He's begging for the mic.
I'm going to go Blitz 2001 on Nintendo 64.
Yeah, see, when you're 16 years old, I guess 2001 is old school. Read me some comments there, Landshark.
Duck Hunt. Oh, Ginger Tuck read my mind. Duck Hunt.
She didn't read your mind because you said Kirby.
Pong.
Pong.
Says Barry Knight.
Okay.
Excite Bike.
Excite Bike, yeah.
Says Danny Daughtry. Gosh, they're coming in so fast.
That's what she said.
Bonnie Williamson Gable, Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Jeremy Little, Pitfall, or Donkey Kong. I mean, these are flying in.
Well, read them. You got to go faster. You can't talk like you went to Ole Miss.
Raid on Atari. Never even heard of that one. Frogger. Ooh, that's a good one. Donkey Kong from Ricky Johnson. Jay Robertson says Defender.
Defender. Wow, that's an old one.
Toby Denton, NCAA football. Scott Hallman, Dig Dug.
Dig Dug, yeah.
Oh. Anthony Covington, 007, Nintendo 64.
GoldenEye.
2007, probably.
It's called GoldenEye.
Donkey Kong, Contra.
Contra, yeah. Yeah. Now we're talking.
Andreas,
Okay.
GTA.
Please stop talking.
Space Invaders.
Please
Burger
stop.
Time.
Please stop.
Tecmo Bowl.
Okay. Number 5. What is last question as we get through this disaster? What is your least favorite? What is your least favorite sport to watch on TV? What is your least favorite sport to watch on TV? Landshark, what's your least favorite sport to watch on TV?
Mine's NBA basketball.
NBA basketball, and that's what most of the people on here are going to say. I disagree vehemently. Mine is I like watching it in person. I like playing it, but I don't like watching baseball on TV. Too slow.
I like going to NBA games. It's fun.
Yeah,
like the
it is.
I just don't
like I love going to see the Braves and the Bulldogs play baseball, but I don't like watching it on TV. What are people saying? Everybody saying basketball?
Golf, which is disappointing. I love watching.
Yeah, but you're a boring person.
Oh, maybe I am. Bowling says Billy Sutherland. Soccer, Jay Hammers. I kind of agree with that. Soccer's hard.
Very boring person over there. You know where she's getting married? In the parking lot of a Dollar General. Mm-hmm. Seriously. What? She's registered.
Oh, you want me to continue?
She's registered at Walgreens. Okay, go ahead. Keep going.
It's actually CVS. Barry Knight says curling.
Mm-hmm.
Bill Anderson, lacrosse or NBA. Terry Williams Graham, tennis or soccer. Tennis is kind of exciting.
I need to say something. The other day before Mississippi State's baseball game on Saturday, we were preempted by lacrosse, by Denver and Albany NCAA tournament lacrosse. And I watched the last quarter of it because I wanted to see. It was awful. I can't believe people play that sport. That's the worst sport I've ever seen. And I know, Maryland fan, you want the mic because Maryland wins the national championship
Maryland
in lacrosse.
in the Final Four. We play on
That's
Saturday.
fine. That's yay, Maryland.
We did our 27th national championship.
Go Turtles. Okay. Give her the
Dear
mic back.
us.
Okay. Any other answers that are interesting?
I have a hot take. Scott Carr says, I tried to watch MS softball, but
Okay, you said you have a hot take. That was actually Scott Carr's hot take.
I meant I have a hot.
MSU softball, their season's over. I'm not going to pile on. I've never, okay. I know Kenny Manning's here, loves softball. I know, I think Ginger Tuck is here. I think she loves softball. Yeah, okay. So we'll cut it off there. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being part of this podcast. I'll let you go now. And we'll talk on Facebook Live if we can for a couple more minutes. Hopefully we'll be able to get some comments up. I'll talk for a couple more minutes till about 25 after the hour, and then we'll be done. My name is Brandon Walker on the podcast. You've been listening to More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country. Yeah, I'm trying to get these comments back up here. Let's see what we got. Lacrosse looks like, whatever. Yes, I do, says Ginger Tuck. Okay, I got some. Looks like I just have to hold it up. Lawn darts, says Barry Knight. Who's putting lawn darts on TV? Who is putting lawn darts on TV? Great show as always, Brandon. Billy Sutherland, thank you very much. Reeves Fancher says Hail State from Huntsville. Cale Pierce says, what happens with Guidry? Nothing. I think he shows up in August and plays football. I think everything is good there. I think Stephen Guidry is ready to go. Time for a new softball coach. 8 teams still playing in the SEC. Toby Denton, I don't think that's the answer. I don't know why you fire a coach for losing in a regional final. I don't, I know you want to win super regionals and you want to go to the College World Series, but I don't know how you fire somebody for playing in the most difficult league in the country and for going to regional and getting to the regional final. I don't know how you fire somebody for that. I've seen this on the message boards. We got to fire Van. We're not winning enough. Well, we're kind of winning. I mean, we're in. I mean, we're playing in the toughest league in the country at its historical apex. Brandon, your boy Barrett Salee thinks Shea left because he couldn't beat out Teamu. He doesn't think that. Somebody at Ole Miss who tells him what to say thinks that. That's the truth. Hi, Braxton, from your Facebook friend Big Rig, Michael Wright. Thank you for being here, Matthew. So the best number 15s, Dak, Mangum, and Bowers, that's a strong group of 15s, I can tell you that. That is a strong group. I think Wayman Hodge said that. Strong group of number 15s. Lynn Rhodes Gilmer says, really good bedtime story today. Thank you, Lynn Rhodes Gilmer. I appreciate that. Worst thing to watch other than any Ole Miss sports is those gaming sports tournaments. Roger Hale Morris. I don't watch those. I guess I was keeping it to main sports. Tennis. I can't watch tennis. I like the idea of tennis, and I love playing tennis, but I can't watch tennis on TV. That's probably the answer. I apologize for saying chicken. I meant to write tomatoes. Martha Finch Stogner. Fried green tomatoes. Yeah. They are delicious. God, they're good. Are you kidding me? Bedtime story was awful, says Becky Briggs Morris. What? Do you mean the story itself was awful or my presentation was awful? Because my presentation was fantastic. I'm a hilarious person. Tried the famous Oxford Chevron chicken on a stick last night. Decent chicken, but no vegetables. I barely even like vegetables, but a stick with 3 chicken fingers is so basic. I agree. Shocking that something coming out of Oxford would be overrated and fake. I can't believe it. McCowan is 15 too. Wow. That is one heck. Dak Prescott for football, number 15. Jake Mangum, number 15 for baseball. Timmy Bowers, number 15 for basketball, and T.R. McCowan, 15 for women's basketball. You guys can get after it and try to find me a stronger group of numbers, a stronger group of players at one number. We need to figure this out. What's the strongest number at Mississippi State? It's going to be tough to beat that one. It'll be very tough. We'd have to figure out, well, Will Clark was 23, right? I know basketball, I'm sure, has had a great 23 before because, basketball players love to wear 23. But I certainly don't think a football player ever wore 23. Did you see Ole Miss baseball's joke of a strength of schedule? How in the world are these guys a potential national seed? Yeah, I saw it. How about the Florida Twitter people this weekend? Apparently 4-7 is having a championship mentality. That was embarrassing for them, Jay Hammers. That was awful. All right, we got to get out of here because I got other things to do today. But I want to say I appreciate you guys. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for being part of the show. I'll have the comments thing figured out by tomorrow. We'll be back on track. That way you won't have to hear from Landshark. I apologize about that. But until next time, my name is Brandon Walker. Let me get one more comment. Martin Smith says, who wrote that bedtime story? I need to know who so I can alert the authorities on who to possibly have committed for testing. When you go to the polls in Mississippi and vote, you live with these people. These people live among you. Think about that. Not you on the bedtime story. You're the bomb. Content thought I was on an Ole Miss channel. All right. No, I was just making fun of him, Becky Briggs. Forgot your last name. Becky Briggs something. Who won the poster? Brandon Jason Brinson. I'm going to give it away later this week. Later this week, I'll give it away probably Thursday. I don't know how I'll do it. We'll figure it out. Until next time, my name is Brandon Walker. You've been watching More Cowbell, the Mississippi State podcast presented by SEC Country.